So some folks like to think that pastors only work for 1 hour out of the entire week. And I'm here to tell you it's completely wrong. It's at least 2. But, to combat this mistake, sometimes pastors feel like they have to tell people how much they're working, how often they're working. In fact, there was even one time that I heard of a pastor going as far as saying he never took any days off. And there's an old story about this pastor who was complaining to a child that he never took any days off, and the kid said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Well, I don't take any days off because Satan doesn't take any days off." And the kid thought about it for a while and said, "I think you need to find a better role model." How are we finding rest in our seasons of life? Don't you think we ought to choose a role model? It's a great question, really, that the kid asks this pastor. Who do we want to follow? What kind of community do we want to be a part of? How are we creating it? And are we modeling a Christ-like life? Today we begin our new series entitled Cultivating Community, in which we're going to look at various aspects of the Christ-centered community that we are in the midst of creating. We'll use the metaphor of the garden, continuing with the theme of the flowers that are up here for Easter, and we'll continue with this theme of gardening and tending to ourselves and our community. We will talk and discuss some of the practical ways that we can plant and water and tend to and cultivate this garden of a community that we call church. Luckily for us, I think we already do a great job at encouraging one another to find rest when it's needed, encouraging one another to take time off when we need, encouraging one another to follow after Christ and Christ's teachings, to connect with God when our souls need to connect with God, and to live out our faith in whatever way we find best. But the church is a place where everyone has different needs and connects in different ways. I have a thing on my desk somebody gave me that talks about the church, and it says, the church is not a cruise liner where everybody comes to be served. The church is a battleship where everybody has a role, everybody serves their place. And I thought about this for a long time, and I thought, well, it's kind of like a battleship cruise liner. Because some of us need to be active, and some of us need to find rest.